Let's go ahead and start off with that first inning. You guys come swinging from the start, and it wasn't like you got cheapies. You guys were hitting long drives. You were putting the ball in play really well. Just talk about the approach at the plate.
Well, the approach at the plate was I mean, they're a good team. I was fortunate enough to help them out last year, and I know who they have. And, you got to get runs on them first, and you got to get runners on, and you got to score. Because if you don't score against them, I mean, they've got one of the best duos in the state, and we were lucky enough to keep them under a hit or no hits, and that was the whole thing. I told our coaches too, if we can keep Deegan and Cole under 1 or 2 hits,
8?
One or two, absolutely, that was, we've got a shot. And we were able to do that, and we were able to execute the hits. And, we got a little lackadaisical after the first inning. Got a little complacent, and, but we were able to pull out. So.
Talk about Sam's outing. I mean, really.
Well, Sam was a game. Well, listen.
Threw 105, whatever it was. Pretty efficient.
Well, Sam threw a heck of a game. I'm going to be completely honest. My gut. It was a game time decision. I told him. Because with their schedule that they've had, they have seen mid-80s and low 90s all year. And my thing was they've seen 85 and 90. Like, my thing was, do I throw Sam or do I throw 60 miles an hour and try to get something? And I'm glad I didn't listen to my gut. He was controlling the zone. Curveball was working well. He just threw a heck of a game. He threw the way he's supposed to throw. That's that's Sam Barnett. That's the pitcher that is that's our one.
You got a guy right now doing some special things, Cutter Boggs.
Absolutely.
I think he's got a hit in every game.
Absolutely.
Of his high school career, which for freshmen you just don't see.
Well, Cutter's special. Cutter's special. You don't really get to you get a freshman that's 6'3" and swings the way he does. You get those are dime a dozen, and we're lucky to have him. He's a baseball guy. He's a ball player, and he's like I said, he's had a hit every game of his high school career, and it's not surprising to me. I was able to watch him all the last 2 years in the middle school league, and he did it there too. He's a ball player, and we're lucky to have him.
Go ahead.
Talk about that 5th inning there, because they scored 2 runs, they cut it in half, and looks like they get Cole to warm up to try to kind of keep it a little bit. But you guys, I think, score 3 runs there.
Yeah,
push it back.
Well, this game's all about momentum, and they started picking up the momentum when Reed hit the double, and we got lucky when we had some runners on, and then that's when we called the squeeze, because like I said, baseball is all about momentum. So we had to get a runner in. Even if it was one, we had to put some runs in. So that's when we called the squeeze, and it was able to work out. We were lucky enough to get that to work out. And then kind of the momentum shifted back, and then, we were able to take control.
It's impressive seeing a kid do what a lot of major leaguers now do.
Yeah, well, we hear about, people talk about small ball and everything like that. But when you can execute squeezes and things at this level, it's hard to beat, because not a lot of people go over it. Not a lot of people go over squeeze coverages and things like that. And when you're able to have a kid that can, bunt like Noah and put it down, and, we can get there and be able to score on squeezes, they're huge momentum shifters. And, we're just lucky enough that we were able to, pull that one out and, shift the momentum back on our side.
Well, you beat a team that just beat the number 1 team in Sherwood, which is also just happens to be a region foe.
Absolutely.
It must be nice. You're going to play these guys again.
Absolutely.
Weather permitting, but how big is to get this first one?
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. Any regional win is huge, but like you said, we get them next week, and this is Independence Shady. I'm a graduate of Independence. I know this rivalry very well, and it's usually during the regular season it's usually 1-1, and then we see each other in the playoffs. But getting the first one's always the most important. Getting any regional win, especially with the 9-team regional, you don't want the 8 and 9 seed. And we kind of lost a lot of momentum. We had some momentum at the early stage of the year, and then we kind of went on a cold streak. But winning these 3 games, and especially the last 2 regionals, huge for us.
Ronnie's trying to corner the market on Indy guys coaching at Shady, right? Because he's won 2.
Yeah,
he's won 2.
I know, and I'm very lucky. I consider Scotty gave me an opportunity to coach his summer program, and he's the reason that I got into coaching, wanting to be Coach Goddard was here. It was really nice seeing him. I see Coach Goddard all the time, but seeing my old coach, seeing my old assistant coach, and so Scotty's a big reason why I'm being a head coach right now, and I love everybody over there, and they run a top-notch program, and that's what we're trying to do here.
All right, thanks, Ken.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, man.
Yes, sir.